Good evening.
You are I am you. Together as a family we push on through. You are I am you. Come on, let's celebrate the good we do. Congratulations, felicitations, yeah. Congratulations on our 20th anniversary. Congratulations, felicitations, yeah. Congratulations on our 20th anniversary. You are right.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Isabel Ortega-Lockwood, and I am the Director of Global Communications and Strategic Planning for URI. It is my great honor to welcome you to our first virtual Circles of Light Gala. We hope you've had a chance to settle into your tables, maybe start some conversations with your table mates. We have an incredible program for you tonight as we are here to celebrate not one, but 3 significant occasions for URI. 2020 marks URI's 20th anniversary, which is being celebrated by our regional offices and cooperation circles around the world. We are also pleased to bring you the online premiere of The Power of Story, which is airing in PBS stations across the United States. And finally, today we launch URI's individual membership program, where all of you will be invited to deepen your engagement with our growing network. Should you have any technical difficulties over the course of the program, you may access support at any of the help desks on the first floor. You can also send an email or a WhatsApp message to col@uri.org. You can also click on the pink icon on the bottom left-hand side of your screen for immediate support. Now, we may experience some streaming speed difficulties because of different internet connections. Hang in there with us and please be patient. The entire program will be available on uri.org after October 21st. To get us started, I'd like to welcome the Right Reverend William E. Swing, former Bishop of California, visionary, president, and founding trustee of URI.
Hello out there. My name is Bill Swing, and I want to tell you what it was like on the day you were born. URI. 20 years ago, the charter of URI was signed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the Carnegie Music Hall. What a day. Hundreds of people from all over the world singing, dancing, drumming, and in high spirits. People of different religions, tribes, cultures caught up in a daunting hope. The hope that the bridges we were about to build would change the world. When each person went up to sign his or her name to that charter, we all sensed that this was a sacred moment. At the end of that day in Pittsburgh, I wrote these words in my diary. Quote, clearly, cooperation circles are expanding rapidly all over the world. It was all breathtaking and slightly scary. End of quote. We were like first-time parents holding a baby in our arms and thinking, wow, and then thinking, what do we do now? Why Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh had more bridges than any city in America. And because URI's very first words in our very first principle say, quote, we are a bridge building organization, end of quote. Basically, that is what URI does. We build bridges between people who are separated by deep divides. We build invisible bridges that span racial divides, economic divides, ancient religious divides, tribal divides. In a world awash in division, we offer a revolutionary path to unity. And you know what? URI's bridge building actually works. 20 years later, we are in most of the countries of the world. Why? Because there are folks out there from every walk of life who trust that there are people on the other side of the divide with whom they can share a common humanity. We believe that human beings together can make the world more humane. 20 years, a very good start, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Leading us into the next 20 years is the Executive Director of URI, Victor Kazanjian. Victor, we all welcome you to this virtual platform.
Thank you, Bill. What a journey it's been these 20 years since the founding of URI. Happy anniversary, URI, and greetings, sisters and brothers in the URI community, and to all our friends who have gathered with us for this Circles of Light virtual gala. This year truly is a global Circles of Light, as we are joined by URI community members from around the world. We often try and imagine the global URI community. We try to use words and pictures to describe the URI network that spans the world. But today, we are that imagined community. In this virtual space, we are together. We are URI, literally connected to one another and able to interact, no longer separated by time and space. I hope that you are enjoying the circle conversations at your virtual tables. URI is all about connecting to one another across differences of culture and belief, about seeing the divine in the face of the other, about being inspired to learn about each other and then join hands and take on the challenges that the world has to offer. And as we gather today, there certainly are challenges in our world to engage. There is the grief related to sickness, death, and disruption being caused by the coronavirus pandemic. There is the ongoing devastation and dislocation caused by conflicts and wars that are raging across the globe. There is growing economic, gender, and social injustice that diminishes and destroys the lives of so many. There are questions as to whether democracy itself will persist. And there are the cries of our Mother Earth as our environment becomes more and more toxic. The shadow of injustice has certainly settled over our lands and our lives, often causing us to feel helpless and alone. But though the task ahead of us may be great, we in the URI community are certainly not helpless, and we are most definitely not alone. Today's gathering is evidence of this. Each of us here at this Circles of Light Gala is one among many, one among the many who comprise the vast majorities of the peoples of the planet who yearn for peaceful and thriving communities and a peaceful and thriving world. Tonight, with the debut of the Visionaries program on URI, the world will get a taste of the power and promise of URI cooperation circles and the URI global community. I want to express my deep gratitude to all those who took part in the filming of the Visionaries documentary and to the Visionaries team who have themselves become a part of the URI community. This is the power of URI that we celebrate today at this Circles of Light. Together, we are the circles of light that dispel the shadows of the world. We are the source of light that illumines our world. May URI's light shine brightly on this day and all days. And may peace, justice, and healing prevail in our communities and in our countries and in our world. Among the bright, shining lights in the URI universe are the growing numbers of young leaders around the world who are leading URI today and into the future. I pass the torch now to Sarah Oliver, URI's Global Youth Coordinator, and a group of URI's extraordinary young leaders.
As representatives of the URI staff, the Global Council trustees, and CC leaders from across the URI network, we welcome you to this special occasion of Circles of Light. Celebrating URI's 20th anniversary, we unite our voices from around the world in our different languages to share with you what makes URI meaningful for us and the vision that we are working towards for the world today.
URI gives me a sense of belonging to a network of change makers who constantly work towards creating a more peaceful society. It has allowed me to step out of my comfort zone and grow into a more self-aware, open-minded and empathetic individual who takes pride in actively working to change the world.
U Uriju vidim ljude koji su odlučili ne razmišljati samo o sebi. One koji su odlučili suočiti se sa strahovima, prihvatiti različitosti i započeti dijalog. Vidim one koji drugima žele dobro i aktivno rade na ostvarenju toga.
URI has created a safe space for intergenerational dialogue and partnership for young peace builders. Through connections with different stakeholders and supportive resources, I am able to meaningfully engage with fragile communities around me.
من خلال URI تعرفت على فهم أعمق لمفهوم التنوع وتأثيره على تنمية المجتمع. لقد تعرفت على العديد من الثقافات والأديان التي أحترمها وأشعر بأمان في التعبير عن نفسي بحرية ومناقشة قضايا السلام.
Sa pamamagitan ng pagkakaiba ng ating mga kultura, namulat ako sa katotohanang marami sa atin ang gustong makamit ng kapayapaan ng dahan-dahan.
URI cambió mi vida. Hay un antes y un después de URI en mi vida.
This year, we have seen an unprecedented overlap of calamities and injustices that need our attention. We are at a new height of moral urgency that requires attention and action from all of us.
This year was a wake-up call that showed us how we are divided by greed, ignorance, and prejudice, rather than by any borders or languages.
We need to rethink our approach to justice, to inequalities, to racism, to classism, and any other factor that threatens peace. Otherwise, we'll perish together if we do not fix peace together in the world.
Peace is not just about the absence of war, but it is also where we feel safe, safe from natural calamity, safe from dangers and such. We have to connect and reconnect, understand each other's faith and culture so that we can educate ourselves and respect each other's beliefs.
Mi smo oni koji smo odgovorni za mir i u svojoj zajednici, ali i u cijelom svijetu. Od nas se traži da gradimo mir, da stvaramo mirno okruženje za nas, za ljude koji žive sa nama, ali i za sve one koji će doći.
No estamos esperando la luz al final del túnel. Somos la luz que ilumina el camino hacia un mundo mejor y un futuro más brillante.
So, for this Circles of Light, we celebrate the many lights that make up URI.
Slavimo sve ljude koji su bili u URI prije nas, koji su sada tu i koji će doći poslije nas. Slavimo ljude koji grade mir kontinuirano i neumorno.
Celebro la comunidad indígena en igualdad.
We celebrate the efforts URI has made for equality and inclusivity.
التنوع قوة وتراث ثقافي مهم والاحترام قيمة إنسانية فاضلة، ولن يتحقق السلام إلا باحترام بعضنا البعض. دعونا نتعامل مع بعضنا البعض بإنسانية.
हमारी यही आशा है कि हम अपने समाज को बदलने और सुधारने के लिए अपने व्यक्तिगत और सामूहिक शक्ति को इस्तेमाल करें।
Deseo que encontremos la esperanza de cambiar el mundo, de llevar a la sociedad global valores de paz y comunidad.
May we continue to invest in the capacities, leadership, and agency of young peace builders.
We are working to achieve a peace we have never seen or imagined before. This pursuit is only possible when we seek justice for others as a norm, not as a privilege or a convenience.
And so, as we light this candle for circles of light, may it be a symbol of peace
that is more just,
más poderoso,
وأكثر تنوعاً,
more compassionate,
hrabri,
or adhik sammilit,
than anything we've ever seen before.
Thank you for being a part of this commitment to peace, justice, and healing. We'll now turn to Kiran Bali, Chair of the Global Council of Trustees, for the next part of our program.
Thank you, Sarah Oliver and the Young Leaders Candle Lighting Reflection. Let me begin by extending my warmest appreciation to each and every one of you for your contributions to this unique and vibrant community of change makers. Sir Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Your giving and your passion are the reason that we have positively changed lives and reached such an important milestone in the life of URI. 20 years. 20 years of changing lives through building cultures of peace, justice, and healing. And what a fulfilling and impactful journey this has been so far. Guided by wisdom, steered by opportunity, together we have facilitated the gifts of hope to many. Beyond humanity and extending into nature and all living beings is our care and our consideration. Each one of us has taken on that ultimate responsibility of service to others. Indeed, the pandemic has reinforced the value of community and partnership, which we have already seen through acts of kindness and compassion. And at this time of pain, loss, and fear, comes that opportunity to reinforce our efforts to stand together in solidarity. My own journey began with the beautiful Young Leaders Programme. This was a prime opportunity to apply my regional leadership skills to enable global learning and nurturing. As URI grew, I also grew in my personal outlook and experience in such a positive correlation. As I continued to administer justice as a magistrate on a regional level, I began to excel my efforts towards global justice. This taught me to be compassionate in my every thought, word, and action. It made me realize the power of URI to make strong and lasting change in the lives of many. As the Global Council Chair, this has been a great opportunity to offer an extraordinary combination of governance and grassroots activism. I feel so very honoured to contribute this to our community. So as we look forward to the challenges that lay ahead, I present my vision for URI. Thank you all for your dedicated contributions and care. URI is a treasure that we must continue to expand and share. We strengthen our service through unity in diversity, through tackling inequalities and injustice in our community. By channeling our collective wisdom and energy, let us increase the momentum of our unique synergy. Each one of us must continue to raise our individual bar as we continue to uplift the URI logo, our shining star, nourishing the seeds that we have all sown by growing humbly into our personal stretch zone, taking risks and going to new lengths, building and empowering from strength to strength, where individual and community impact is reassessed to create new milestones of our collective success. The futuristic challenges we must begin to feel and see as we start acting through a new creative dimension, 4D. Let us transform our circles into cooperation spheres. Dear friends, let us all raise our hands to give URI 3 cheers. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you for that moving message, Kieran. Now, our gathering today is a special time to recognize the amazing work of our cooperation circles. Cooperation circles, of course, are the member groups that make up our global network. These groups have a minimum of 7 members who represent 3 religions or belief traditions, and they work together to benefit their community and the world. Now, this work translates to amazing impact that resonates globally, impact that touches the lives of thousands of people every day. To celebrate this 20th anniversary, URI worked with musical activist, composer, and vocalist Kristen Hoffman to create a new song for our global community. Here she is with her special gift.
Thank you so much, Isabel. It is an honor to be here at Circles of Light, sharing this brand new song, You Are I, aptly named. I wrote You Are I inspired by this invitation to all peoples at this time to step into this space of unity and togetherness. As we work as a whole system, we will be able to accomplish things that we just cannot accomplish on our own. We will be able to hold a high vibration space of peace. And in this sense of unity, the song talks about how unity does not mean sameness. Unity is like a garden. It's a celebration of diversity. And in the garden, we need all different kinds of flowers and plants and pollinators to do our unique jobs to bring about a holistic sense of what unity truly means. So without further ado, here is You Are I.
We are born from earth, the children of first peoples, live in right relationship. Their evils are diversity interwoven, one ecosystem of wholeness. You are I, and we are oneness in this journey. As humanity, we're learning to live peace. You are I, and we are people united. Earthly healing, no more fighting. 'Cause now we see that you are I. Calling all tribes and nations to gather. Unity is not a sameness, but rather it's a garden bursting with color, thriving in support of each other.
That was so inspirational. Thank you. Last year, you or I received a phone call, which would be the first step in an extraordinary journey of rediscovery, connection, and partnership. Visionaries is an award-winning team of documentarists who have been creating inspiring stories for PBS stations across the United States. Visionaries selected URI out of hundreds of nonprofits to be featured in its 24th season. Now, every day I have the privilege of reading about the incredible work of our cooperation circles. I was invited to travel with the team to Stanford here in California, then to Uganda, and then to India. I was blown away by the enormity of the impact of our network's efforts. It was evident in the hope and determination in the faces of people who attended a URI Cooperation Circles event. It resonated in the words people used to describe the power and the benefit of being part of the URI network. And it was clear that the work of building cultures of peace, justice, and healing is changing lives, communities, even the world. So come and join our journey and see for yourself. It is my pleasure to present The Power of Story.
Together with more than 1,000 groups of grassroots interfaith peace builders in more than 100 countries, we welcome you.
I've been changing channels, I don't see them on the TV shows. Where'd all the good people go?
Many of us are inundated with a seemingly unending torrent of negative images and ideas spout forth from the digital devices that are our gateway to nearly all public discourse. Why? Because it works. It gets our attention. We are hardwired to prioritize and react to danger, real and perceived. People bent on fame, money, or political power know this. They are hijacking our attention, not for a good cause, but for a click, a like, or a quick buck. There is and always has been an answer to this attack. It is called story.
I got a phone call from the United Nations saying they'd like to come to San Francisco, 50th anniversary of the UN Charter. And they said, our vision is that we'd like to bring all the nations of the world. We'll have 185 ambassadors, and we'd like you to bring all the religions of the world and all the religious leaders.
A well-told story can bypass the primitive parts of our brain and evoke emotions and ideas that unify us, empower us, allow us to share dreams of a better day.
You know, when you're entering into something that's so outrageous, you go to bed at night and you're lying there and you're thinking, why did I say yes to that? I don't know anything about Buddhists. I don't know anything about Hinduism. The longer I lay there in February of 1993 and thought about it, I was thinking, come on now. The nations have met every day for 50 years to struggle together for global good. And in the same 50 years, the religions of the world haven't spoken to each other, not for 1 minute.
Bill Swing has always been a maverick. When I met him in 1981, he was doing cutting-edge work with HIV/AIDS here in San Francisco at a time when even doctors were refusing to touch AIDS patients. Bill would go into the hospital. The Bishop of California would go into the hospital and sit with patients with HIV/AIDS and hold their hands and kiss their forehead and just comfort them.
And I was thinking, who's more moral in terms of having a vocation for the world, the nations or religions. And nations aren't very good, but religions are worse.
And so Bill went off on this kind of crazy dream of bringing the religions of the world together to work for peace.
And I said, I commit the rest of my life to being a catalyst for the creation of united religions. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what it would look like. I didn't have any money. But I thought, okay, here goes the adventure.
The story goes that he went around the world to talk to all the great religious leaders of the world to say, come join me, and together we'll bring the religions together and we'll create peace in the world.
So I went to speak with the Pope and the Dalai Lama and Mother Teresa and the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram and the Grand Mufti and the Sheikh of Al-Azhar. And I mean, you can't think of anybody I didn't go visit. And I asked him one question. A simple question. Are you willing to deputize a person from your tradition to meet with a deputy from other traditions? And every one of the religious leaders said, absolutely not. And I said, okay, it's not going to happen with religious leaders. And I thought, who's left? It's the grassroots people. And then it dawned on me, they're the only people who could ever make it happen.
This is a story of a remarkable organization embarking on a global effort to use the power of story as an instrument of unity and peace. It is called URI, or United Religions Initiative. It is a kind of United Nations of people of all beliefs, including atheists and agnostics. This is how it works. At least 7 people come together to tackle a cause. The only requirement is that they represent at least 3 different religions or belief systems. This is called a cooperation circle. They do something together. Build a school, expose an injustice, fight poverty, rally against hate and violence. There are now 1,000 of these cooperation circles in more than 100 countries. Come with us now and see the power of story.
So it was just 2 months ago that we were all together in San Francisco at the conference of grassroots peace builders from all over the world and policymakers from the UN, and it's incredible now to be here.
Way back in 20 years when we start URI in Africa, and we were talking, is it really possible to have this kind of grassroots movement within Africa where we can bring the different faith communities to work together? I would say the seed we planted way back now bear fruit, and indeed it became a reality with more than 210 member organizations, a cooperation circle, a grassroots organization in 32 Africa countries.
For me, it's interesting that you talk about seeds being planted, because I think in our time together at Stanford and San Francisco, we planted new seeds at that moment in time as well. You took the old roots of URI 20 years ago and you replanted new relationships with other organizations.
So URI started with the grassroots, right? Yes. It started with cooperation circles, ordinary people from all over the world coming together and starting these groups.
They use their own mechanism to ensure that there is peace among communities, individuals, and that is the learning that cuts across the network. And I love that.
It introduced a new way to get involved in deep partnership around this larger work of interfaith peace building in a global context.
I think people often misunderstand the work we do. They think it's about bringing religions together. When I see our work on the ground, it's about bringing all people together, because all people have beliefs, whether they're religious or spiritual or humanistic, it doesn't matter.
The beauty of it is it sets up a value system that adheres to some tenets that are common amidst different religions, beliefs, and traditions.
Oh, do you know what women need?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And more here and more there.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is a reminder that deep down in the core of our beliefs, whether they be spiritual, indigenous, however, secular, however you define it, we can be connected, we can find commonalities, we can celebrate our similarities, and let us accept that invitation to work together and to live together.
We go to the community so that we can learn and listen, and that the wisdom of the community, the local community, can help teach us.
I have very strong and resilient women who work so hard and who are there to make the world a better place.
Human rights is a very key aspect here in Uganda, given the political situation.
The Golden Women's Vision in Uganda is composed of women. They suffered rape during abduction. Many of them were abducted as young as 10 years. So they were taken as wives to the rebels. They had to do all sorts of evil, commit all evil against their own relatives, against their own community members.
The war caused death to many people. The war did not distinguish between Muslim, Catholic, or Anglican, or Orthodox, but any. So we said we must come together.
We put aside our differences despite of our way of belief, but we should come together for the common purpose, and our people live in peace, because indeed the region was highly ravaged by war. Children were being abducted, women being abused.
During the insurgency in northern Uganda, the rebels came to our village called Patong. I was abducted when we were running. We were in a hide with my sister. My sister was 2 months pregnant, so she held my hand as we were running. So when we ran, we had a bullet where they shot her. I was holding her with my right hand. Then she fell. Immediately, the rebel came and started again slaughtering her like an animal. I was at the age of 13 years old. They took me to the rebel leader, Joseph Kony himself. He had during that time he was having 43 wives.
If we don't do anything to end the suffering of these children, they will continue to suffer. Where will we have a future for these people of northern Uganda? There will be no future.
So that was the reason why we decided to die together with them in the bus park here, because at this time, all of them would be here. And this place was being used by children who were running from abduction.
An idea came from one of us that why don't we really show solidarity with the children of northern Uganda who are running away from fear of abduction by the rebels.
If you want to catch the attention of the people, you want to draw fixed attention, and you want them to rush to find a solution, create a thick smoke. Everybody will run to find out what's happening there. Sleeping in the bus park was creating a thick smoke.
So we walked from different directions. Him, the Muslim, the Anglican, the Orthodox, and then myself, Catholic. We walked. The first day, the children saw us moving, said, what is happening with our leaders? Four nights. And then the whole world was here. When we were here, the first night, there was a lot of shooting on this side. So they said, why should we risk our lives? We said, if you don't have protection for our children, why should you have protection for us? If the children are going to die, we are going to die with them.
We say this, that children are the future of any tribe, the future of any nation, the future of the whole international community are children.
Violence appears to be very powerful, but in front of peace, violence is powerless. You can see now.
But because of peace now, and with the new development that has taken place here, the place is booming, booming in business.
Here now, you see the number of vehicles around and the boom of business after receiving peace.
When I came back after 3 years, started to realize there's a reason for me to stay alive. Then I registered with the aim of supporting the survivors, supporting the women. I could bring them around me. I see a mother in them. I say to myself, so long as I'm still alive, I will try with all my level best to create any possibilities for the women, for those who suffered during war in northern Uganda. We have stories.
The place where we are right now is called Bwaise in Kampala, which is one of the biggest slum areas around Kampala. And it houses over 90,000 people. These are people who live on less than $1 a day. And these young people, basically what AFCAD does is to try support them by giving them an opportunity for vocational trainings, entrepreneurship trainings.
Jaffa, tell me about how all this got started and how do you get involved in this?
All of my life, I've been passionate about giving support to people and changing young people's lives. So in 2009, me and my co-founders, we embarked on starting an organization that could benefit the people of this community.
We were just little boys who grew up from this neighborhood. And we came together, we were thinking kids smiling, schools, hospitals, initiatives that help young people to find employment.
Well, AFCAD runs 3 thematic areas, that is youth economic empowerment, education and health. So this program is basically there to support young people who have no access to those tertiary institutions, but also another way of trying to fight unemployment, which is at a very high rate. This is our partner here. He does the medication bit, so we refer all the young people who needs medication to go in there for free services. We run a community school. We don't have any government school that can give them an opportunity to have formal education.
Jeff, you know how people say that young people are the future leaders. Well, you know, we don't believe that. URI doesn't believe that. URI believes that young people are the leaders now, and you exemplify that.
Definitely, definitely. Leadership starts now, and we are the leaders. Now, if I may give an example, when you look at slum areas, they are targeted areas when it comes to radicalization.
So when we're trying to help communities to empower themselves and build peace, a lot of it's about giving opportunity, isn't it? Because when people are shut off from the opportunity to engage their own lives and their communities, that's when they're vulnerable to getting picked off, as you said.
I come from a big Muslim family of more than 20 children. You know, in Uganda, we've been so much on the news as perpetrators of violent extremism. We decided to come up and do a lot of interfaith work, to get together to create a movement or campaign that can show, okay, Muslims can be at the forefront of promoting peace and doing other projects that promote community.
It's a predominantly Muslim community, but one of our first events we did was a Christmas party when we started, and I guarantee 80% of the kids that went for the party were Muslims.
Being the young leaders of today, we are now embarking on challenging all the negative aspects around this world. Our initiative, AFCAD is founders. 2 founders are Muslims, 2 founders are Christians. It starts from there, then it's spreaded from the community. We are one people.
Yeah.
We've got to create this kind of platform where we support each other, love each other, and live in a very stable community.
Yes.
And that challenge of people fighting over religions is done.
So Jaffa, you guys have become so successful and renowned for your work here in this community, in Kampala, in Uganda, but also around the world. Tell me more about the URI AFGAD connection.
URI gave us technical support in terms of guidance on how to do stuff, in terms of giving us capacity on how to run an organization.
AFGAD and URI have lived this relationship where the mentoring and training helped you guys get going.
Yeah.
And now you become a mentor and teacher for other organizations around the world, other communities who could do what you do.
It's not about the religions, it's about the peace, it's about the development that we need for our communities.
This is Karikam International Public School in South India, where we have a URI unit also. We call it Interfaith Students Movement.
It's one of the URI cooperation circle. It's working with youth. We have kids from 5 years old to 15 years old. We are promoting interfaith harmony with them. Dr. Abraham Karikam is my mentor. I joined URI as a member in 2009. On that time, I was 14 years old.
Thank you so much.
You have a story. I have a story. And when we come together and we engage our community, our work, this world together, you and I become one. We create a new story together. There's something that connects us, and we may feel that spiritually, but we can live that out.
To inaugurate this computer laboratory.
And now in Kerala, we have 56 cooperation circles. And also, URI has 14 action areas, and we are mainly focused on interfaith peace building and youth empowerment.
We are going to Kollam, which is an ancient city of Kerala. There we have one of our very, very famous URI cooperation circles, which is called Zero Limit CC. Now they are running an institute of psychological studies. It is called the LADE Institute, and we have graduate students doing psychological studies.
So I am Dr. Mohanlal. I am a psychologist. I conducting training programs and awareness sessions in schools and colleges for youth and public.
Myself, Dr. Devi Raj. I'm also a psychologist, and we together with him, I'm also conducting many campaigns, programs, and training programs, awareness session for youth, and much more.
And they travel to various schools and colleges, and they are giving a series of training programs, building up our students as budding peace builders.
Every problem comes from the heart of the people. So we'll have to teach the students about peace and inner peace, and then only we can have a beautiful living.
Greetings to all. My name is Fatima Hakim. I am a second year psychology student at LADE Institute of Social Science. I'm a member of URI CC. She is a Hindu, I am a Muslim. There is no difference here. When we came to URI CC, we came to know that every religion is equal, which doesn't mean that I am accepting other religion, but it means that I am seeing other religion and respecting it.
When we go to them and say, we are from United Religions Initiative, we would like to start a project, and they are like, is this some sort of conversion or thing? Is it like any Jesus is coming, like music and all? We have to make them understand that there's nothing to do with conversions and all. This is an organization giving a platform for religions to come together and respect other religions. All the times I thought, what can a single man like me do for a global cause? there's a theory, the butterfly theory, like a single flap of a butterfly creates a ripple in the universe. So everyone matters. That's the URI. Hence, every religion matters.
We're at Caricom International Public School today, setting up with almost 800 students from 4 schools to do a children's peace march across the city of Caricom.
The International Day of Peace, and the children are gathered to speak about peace, to sing about peace, to march for peace, to chant for peace. It's an incredibly exciting day as people around the world celebrate the International Day of Peace.
I know that I'm out of step. My generation came and went. I know that my music is not their music. I know their metaphors and language is not my metaphor and language. But it belongs to Victor. It belongs to those people in the office. It belongs to the youth.
Abraham, we're starting the International Day of Peace. Tell us about this.
Yeah, every year we are having this peace march led by children, declaring to the world that children are for peace. This has become an important festival in the village of Caricom.
And in your school, people of all beliefs, all religions come together, they learn about each other, they study peace together.
Yeah. In our school, we have children from all religions. So all our students know about other religions. They are not their enemies.
URI proves that when people of diverse beliefs come together to work on issues that matter, we can create a culture of peace, justice, and healing for all. For the visionaries, I am Sam Waters.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to bring back Bishop Swing for a special presentation.
I would like to draw everyone's attention to someone who financially helped this video be produced. This video that we just watched. Someone who is frequently behind the URI scene and through crucial grants prompts URI to blaze new trails. I'm talking about George Marcus. Primarily, George wants us to make a difference in the world, a difference that is felt and can be measured. In this sense, he is like Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady singing, "Don't talk of love lasting through time, show me now." That's George. Also, he is a quiet supporter of the URI website development and the database development. These are not sexy items, but they are essential to our work. You might ask, how is URI making it financially through this COVID-19 crisis? Well, through steady giving and through growing an endowment. URI is holding its own. In both of these realms, George is a giant for us. The picture that comes to my mind when I think of George is the picture of a booster rocket at a space launch. The spaceship needs a booster rocket to get off the ground and eventually into the Earth's orbit. And right now, in the voyage of URI, that booster rocket has a name, and that name is George Marcus. England has Elton John, the rocket man, but URI has George Marcus, our rocket booster. Therefore, it is my delight to be able to present the Philanthropic Visionary Award of URI to George Marcus on this, our 20th anniversary. Congratulations, George, and my personal thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus. Now it is time to introduce you to some new faces at URI. They represent a committee that has been working diligently for more than a year to bring us new ways to engage individuals in the work of URI. To tell us more about this exciting new program, please welcome our new Coordinator of Individual Membership Development, Ezra Fairley Collins.
Thank you so much, Isabel, for that introduction. It's so great to be with all of you tonight. The Visionaries episode has me so inspired, and I hope it inspired each of you. As Isabel said, my name is Ezra Fairley Collins, and I am URI's Coordinator for Individual Membership Development. It is my distinct honor to be able to introduce you all to URI's newest interactive endeavor, the Individual Membership Program. Whether you are a part of a URI member group or whether you're an individual looking to connect with other like-minded individuals, URI members are the heart and soul of the movement, which is why we are committed to ensuring that anyone is able to have a deep engagement with URI. If you endorsed the charter over 20 years ago and or supported URI over the years, URI member David Newsom and I would like to invite you to explore possibilities to enrich your experience with URI. I had the chance to catch up with David right before I took the stage tonight. David, how are you doing this evening?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Ezra.
I'm so glad. So I would really just love to hear from you. Why are you an individual member of URI?
I'm a member of URI because I'm a community builder who is devoted to global conversations about our shared future. And I will never forget the day I joined the URI movement. It was my birthday, and Bishop Swing was taking the stage at TEDx Soma in San Francisco in front of a 750-person audience, an audience that might receive a religious leader giving a talk on whether anything good can come from a bunch of religions with deep skepticism. What amazed me was at the end of his talk, every single person in the audience rose to their feet. He was the only speaker that evening to receive a standing ovation. And it was in that moment that I knew this was my tribe.
Great. So why should existing friends and supporters of URI join the individual membership program?
Well, I think this is an exciting time for individuals to deepen their engagement, their relationship, and their journey with URI. It's a wonderful time to be doing that. And the last thing I'll say is I hope to see you along the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David.
You're welcome.
Thank you again, David. If you are ready to take your next step to deepen your engagement, we have a special website for you, uri.org/engage, where you can see what possibilities await. For those of you who tonight is your first URI event, welcome. We are ecstatic to have you join us. URI member Barbara Shannon and I want to invite you to explore what makes URI special and to see how you can add your own perspective to enliven the movement. I also had the chance to catch up with Barbara before I took the stage tonight. Barbara, it's so good to be with you this evening. How are you doing?
Hi, Ezra. I'm great. Delighted to be here.
Awesome, great. Well, as you know, tonight kicks off the launch of URI's individual membership program. And I'd just love to hear from you. Why are you an individual member of URI?
I am a member of URI as an individual member because the people that I've met at URI, and especially the incredible people I've had the opportunity to work with as we've developed the individual membership program, are people that my heart resonates with. And at this time in history, that's really important to me, to have that feeling of community and inspiration, because the URI individual membership folks are, how would I describe them? Smart, creative, funny, fun, and driven. And that's me. So I feel like I fit in individual membership. And because there's an element of I don't know, which I enjoy, we are creating this program as we go step by step. And I'm certain that because of the heart-centered, the clarity of our hearts, that this program is going to be really incredible. So I'm standing by. I'm participating, and I'm standing by to see what we create.
Awesome, thank you. So for folks who this may be their first URI event, why should they come to the next event where we'll get to craft the membership experience together?
I would say that if you feel like I do, that you're longing for smart, fun, driven, caring people, and you want a place to feel part of that, then join us. And welcome into the big blank space of I don't know, and let's co-create. Let's make this happen our way.
Great, thank you so much. And it was always a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening.
Thanks, Ezra, you too.
Thanks. Thank you again, Barbara. For all of my new to URI friends, we also have a special website for you, uri.org/inspire, where you can learn more about URI, find what excites you, and begin to journey with us. There is no better time than the present to jump in to help us move URI forward to its next 20 years. Some of you may be hesitant in thinking, I don't have time for one more event or thing. URI is committed to help you make your membership experience your own. You have my personal assurance that whatever engagement looks like for you, you are I. From reading newsletters to participating in learning exchanges with people across the globe, to activating your interests, to something unique we haven't thought of yet. Individual membership hopes to be a vehicle for you to find your people as you seek to work in your community your way. So how can you get involved? For that, I want to bring my friend Sarah to invite you to our upcoming event. Welcome, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Ezra. I've personally hosted and participated in many URI events, and I know the power of sharing. And I want to invite you all to our next event called Back to the Table, where we will talk about individual membership and the journey that we will create together.
Thanks so much, Sarah. When you return to your tables, on your table's whiteboard is a flyer with upcoming events and information on how to become a member. We hope you sign up soon. In conclusion, I'd be remiss to not thank Jill Kramer for her generous contribution and support, which has made our individual membership program possible. Please join me in thanking Jill. We hope to see you all at our Back to the Table event, and we look forward to your participation as URI members. Have a great rest of your evening. Isabel, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Ezra, David, Barbara, and Sarah. I'd like to welcome back Bishop Swing for our closing blessing.
When we have finished the blessing in a minute, I invite you, if you wish, to continue talking to others at your table, or please feel free to move around and find other people whom you know or whom you would like to get to know and have a chat with them. This technology is really something, and I thank you for being good sports in this, our maiden voyage into new technology. Now, let us pray. We give thanks to the author of life for this amazing worldwide family which we have glimpsed tonight. We give thanks for setting us about the task of bridge building by stretching our arms out to embrace others across fierce divides and over deep chasms, by holding high elevated values that can attract and inspire a global community, and by bringing fresh hope to people who are living on the thin edge of desperation. Strengthen us tonight so that we may pay the price of bridge building and serve you in creating a more expansive, humane world. In the name of all that is holy and all that is hoped. Amen.
The vision of the people that are present here is global, and it's changing the world in ways that we're only beginning to experience now. So come, let your peace warrior be activated, let your love light shine, and know that you matter. Your love matters. It makes a difference.